Family, this is not okay. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, posted this last night at 8:44. Put pictures of President Barack Obama and his wife Michelle on the bodies of monkeys, apes, gorillas. This is the President of the United States, family. You all should be outraged. Everybody today needs to be posting about this. Pull up this image. This is from Donald Trump, his on social media. He did this to our President of the United States picture on the bodies of monkeys. Something that white racists have always called us and teased us and said we were monkeys. And this is the leader of the free world. This is grounds for impeachment. This is grounds. Black people, you need to be enraged today. Post about this all day.
I'm not going to share the image here, but the President of the United States recently shared an AI-generated video or image of the Obamas as apes. And I don't have to tell you why that's problematic, because you already know. I don't have to tell you why reducing people into animals is a problem, because you already understand that. I don't have to tell you why specifically dehumanizing two Black people into apes, how that is actually a deep problem, because you already understand that. I don't have to tell you about the long history of dehumanizing Black people into apes or monkeys by bigots who would use that logic, their logic, to attempt to subjugate, harm, and even take our lives. I don't have to tell you about that, because there's so many resources you can find that can explain all of that, because they literally had to train you to think that we're animals, to think that you have nothing in common with us, to reduce our humanity. That way, when you saw direct harm happening to us, you agreed with it rather than challenging it, because you yourself don't see us as humans. But what we no longer can do is play this game that the president is a racist. He's using racist tropes, blatantly racist tropes. And these racist tropes have direct impact and direct harm on marginalized communities. There is a long history of dehumanizing Black people, and that dehumanization being used in some of the most heinous and horrendous crimes against humanity. This is not just a harmless joke. These aren't just passive words. And for anyone who considers themselves an ally or an accomplice, you cannot just shrug this off. This is not grandpa sitting in his recliner spouting off bigoted things. This is a world leader from the world stage saying directly, impactfully harmful things about a massive portion of people. This is not just a mean thing to say or do. This behavior is systemic. This behavior is intentional. And rather than trying to reduce it as a grown man being childish, folks who consider themselves accomplices, folks who are not directly impacted but want to be helpful to our community, need to stand up and speak out and show how it's systemic. No more patty cake with this grown man. No more shrugging off this direct harm from this grown man. He is a world leader. And if you want the authority, you have to take the responsibility. These actions are directly harmful. But unfortunately, the bigots who will only receive this message will only receive it from people who look like them. Because again, they don't see people who look like me as human beings. And if it's not addressed, it will lead to direct harm against our communities. So what are we going to do? Are we going to pretend that this is not directly harmful and directly impactful? Or are the folks who claim to walk beside us and stand with us going to say something about this for us? Because again, they don't see us as human beings, but they see you as one. So what are y'all going to do? Okay, thanks, bye.
It's disgusting, but I'm not surprised. Because this is what Trump does. This is what he thinks. This is what his followers think. He posted a video on his stupid platform, and towards the end of it, at 1:02, there is an AI-generated video that depicts former President Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama like this. I don't even know what else there is to say at this point, because I know that the people that support this vile piece of shit support thoughts like this. They support enforcement agencies going and tearing families apart. This is who you voted for, because this is who you are. Two things are for certain every day, though. The pedophile in chief shits himself and acts worse than even his fucking soiled diaper.
So Donald Trump posted a video of the Obamas as monkeys to his social media account today. And I know that a lot of Trump supporters and Trump voters have been asking themselves the same question, up here. I'd like to answer the question. The answer to the question is yes. Yes, the world would be a better place without you.
This is who they are. I don't know why anyone is shocked or surprised or confused, really. This is exactly who they are. And I say they because at this point, those of us who have been having this conversation, shouting it from the rooftops since 2015 when he first came on the scene, we've been saying this man is a racist, this man is a bigot, this man is a sexual predator. We've been saying this. This is who they are. None of these things have been enough for folks to not support him. This is who they are. If you can look at me dead in my eye and tell me that you don't think this man is a racist, and this isn't a line that you think matters when it comes to voting for or supporting a person, I don't know what to tell you. This is who you are too. The only reason that Donald Trump does shit like this is because he cannot stand that two beautiful, accomplished, intelligent, smart, charismatic people were better at this job and in this role than he could ever imagine being. It eats him up inside. I hope they're the faces that he sees when it's time.
I'm tired. I am annoyed. I'm sickened. I'm disgusted. I'm upset. I have people who I know who voted for this. I live in a world, in a space where I have black sons and black daughters and a black wife and the most powerful person in the world. I'm tired. And this is unacceptable in every way. The silence from people who should be speaking out about this is so discouraging to me. I think especially because I know that I exist in a space where I do not allow silence to exist, where I want everyone to heal and everyone to recover and everyone to reconcile and everyone to be forgiven, even him. But me having to hold this standard when others refuse to is just heavy.
Hello guys, welcome back to a YouTube channel, and thank you so much for the love and the support that you guys have really shown us. We really appreciate. Yes, back in the words of the United States of America, we have seen a picture, AI generated picture by the President of United States of America, Donald Trump, dehumanizing the former President of United States of America, Barack Obama, and his wife, Michelle Obama. Guys, where are we heading to? Where will people draw the line? Many questions that people are asking, and many has commented their thoughts and their thoughts and their opinion about these things. Like, are they taking us back now to whereby the racist monster was so much to an extent people died, and there's still traumas that people are healing right even at this moment back in their families?
But what the president has done is gone beyond racial profiling. This is racism. This is raw, rank racism when the President of the United States of America, who knows or should know the history of this country and how persons have used this image of persons of African ancestry to be associated with persons who are members of the monkey family. For the President to do this and to do it openly and notoriously is showing that he condones this level of racism. Those who tolerate racism perpetuate racism. We have a duty, a responsibility, and an obligation to let the president know that this is not only acceptable, this is not only something unacceptable, it is something that is objectionable and that we will stand against him. If I see him again, he will know where I stand.
Can we not waste time sitting around acting surprised that Trump posted a video of the Obama's heads on gorilla bodies? Can we not act shocked that he did that? Because it's not shocking at all. He posted that on his Truth Social after telling us all that it's time we move on from the Epstein files. That's why he posted it. He does not want us talking about the Epstein files. And also, he posted it because he wants us all in comment sections and standing around the cooler at work today talking about and debating whether or not the Obamas and Black Americans are in 2026. He wants to take us to that age-old debate that I thought we left behind in 1912, which I'm fully aware as somebody who was raised in deep red East Texas, that debate has been going on ever since, all the way up to this point. But not because that conversation was initiated by the President of the United States. So let's not be shocked that he did this. It is very on brand for him to want to turn our attention away from the fact that he's in the files over 30,000 times. And he wants us talking about the Obamas being on gorilla bodies.
Now, when I first saw that image come across my social media, I thought it must be fake. I know the president and those around him have said and done some despicably racist things in the past, but this? Now, prior to being in office, Trump and his father, Fred, were sued by the US Department of Justice in the 1970s for refusing to rent apartments to black tenants. He then, in the 80s, led calls for the death penalty for 5 young black men who became known as the Central Park Five, who were wrongly convicted of a brutal rape. And even when it became clear that they were innocent, he continued to claim they were guilty. And of course, he was the one who led the racist conspiracy theory that Barack Obama was not a legitimate president because, as Trump loudly and wrongly claimed, Obama wasn't born in the US. That became known as the birther conspiracy. But even with that history, and there are more examples, more recent ones too, I still could not really believe what I was seeing when that image came across my timeline. Never did I think I'd see a sitting president of the United States posting a video containing such an overt, unquestionably racist image. Now, the argument made by some that this video, when played in full, isn't racist is laughable in its naivety and offensive in the assumption it makes about the audience that saw it. Its creator made a decision to depict the Obamas as apes. Its poster made a decision to share it on his platform. Now, not that this should need explaining, but the dehumanization of black people in this way is a trope dating back hundreds of years. It's something which had for many years been confined to the dustbin of history while still very much a part of the vocabulary of white supremacists. But something's changed. Maybe it's social media, maybe it's something else, but something has changed. We're in a new reality where, for more than 12 hours, Trump's White House thought this was okay. Now, as I was preparing for today, my 5-year-old son was running around the house playing. Each time he passed my screen and that image was up, I had to move my laptop. I didn't want him to see it, to have to explain that, to have that conversation. But have that conversation, I will, as my mother had with me. There's been an increase in racist language and behavior online where it's found an audience and metastasized. Now, it's hard to quantify how much it's increased as social sites are many and disparate, but in the US, a study in the Journal of Epidemiology found in an analysis of some 55 million tweets between 2011 and 2021, a 16% increase in racist language. The New York Times report anti-Semitic and anti-Muslim hate speech jumped by 919% and 422% respectively in the aftermath of the Hamas attacks on the 7th of October and the Israeli response. And a study from Goldsmith University here in the UK found 95% of minority groups see racist content online. 16% see it every day, and 42% of those asked say it was damaging to their mental health. So this sort of thing matters. Now, this will not be the last time something like this happens. The White House has taken it down, blaming a junior staffer, which is odd as we're told that Trump does lots of his own posting, and it went up at around midnight, but at least it's not up there anymore. But the damage has been done. Whatever mask there may have been has slipped. The test for all of us now comes in how we respond the next time it happens.
This is the president. This is the president of the United States of America. When y'all say racism doesn't exist, racism, that was a long time ago. This is currently happening right now. I'm Black History Month!
Donald Trump is facing a lot of backlash today for this video that he ended up reposting on his official Truth Social. Let me know your thoughts over in the comments, because yes, there is a lot of troll baiting going on when it comes down to what people and politicians currently post all over social media. But at the same time and everything, you guys, you have to understand, this is the current United States sitting president. This is the highest level of authority that you can actually get here in the United States of America. So for someone of that status to be able to post things online with zero consequences is absolutely outrageous. Plain and simple, you guys, because if we're supposed to look to them as our leader, what does that say to the rest of the world that, you know, this is our leader, this is what they're allowed to do? They can be blatant and open and blunt about just being racist. Plain and simple, you guys. But that right there was the full video of what Donald Trump ended up playing on his True Social or reposting. So once more, you guys, let me know your thoughts over in the comments.
Okay. President Trump was asked about this on Air Force One tonight and said he didn't see the whole video. He just saw the first part of the video, gave it to the people, they posted it, and then they took it down. When asked if he should apologize, he said he didn't make a mistake. He only looked at the beginning and it was fine. And when asked if he condemns the racist part of the video, he said, "Of course I do." He also said he is the least racist president, quote, "you've had in a long time." This is how the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt initially responded. She said the video is part of a meme with Trump's head on a lion depicting the Lion King and other Democrats imposed on animals. She called the criticism, quote, fake outrage, and told reporters to, quote, report on something today that actually matters to the American public. Then a short time later, after the dam continued to break, a Republican backlash led by the lone Black Republican Senator Tim Scott saying, quote, "This is the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House." We heard again from the White House changing their message, saying a White House staffer erroneously made the post, and it has since been taken down. So President Trump also said he spoke with Senator Tim Scott, and he said that he 100% understands that Trump didn't see that part of the video.
It was a meme from a Lion King video. Leave it to the media to ignore the Dow hitting 50,000 and Trump RX.
12 hours after President Trump shared a post with that racist video depicting former President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama as apes, the president has finally taken that video down. A lot of mixed messaging from the White House on this. The president, to be clear, has not apologized for sharing or posting that video. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt initially said that there was fake outrage around the video. Then a few hours later, the White House says that a White House official erroneously posted the video. So we've asked the White House, will that White House staffer face any disciplinary action? We have not heard back. We've also asked whether or not the president will apologize. We have not heard back either. And tonight there is no word from the Obamas on this. They have decided to stay silent, and no word from Caroline Leavitt either. She has not walked back what she said.
So President Trump sent out a video that included a little meme. Many people are saying it's super racist, but why was that actually included in the video? I'll tell you why. It was strategic. It was done for a reason. Everybody is talking about this video now. Eventually, the White House did take it down. But what was the video really about? Voter integrity, election fraud, election integrity, people interfering with elections, the kind of stuff that President Trump's been very passionate about for a long time, at least going back to 2020. Now people are actually talking about it. Also, like some of my colleagues have said on social media, who cares? It's fascinating. The people the most mad about it are white people, because if you're not black or gay or transgender, none of the outrage actually happens. I mean, X is a place where all kinds of racist, vile, awful stuff is put out there. Oh, okay, yeah, the president is not supposed to be involved in all of that. Well, guess what? The president's a normal person. Not a nice thing to include that little joke about Michelle and Barack, and obviously not nice. Nobody would say that. But really, who gives a crap?
Carolyn Levitt attempts to defend Donald Trump's vile video of the Obamas as they're facing backlash from both Democrats and Republicans. Now, if you missed it overnight, Donald Trump posted a disgusting video of the Obamas, and he's facing backlash from not only Democrats, but even some of his hardcore supporters as well. Well, Carolyn Levitt decided she'd try her hand at damage control, and this is how it went. Quote, this is from an internet meme video depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public. Unquote. Yeah, there's a little problem there. Donald Trump didn't post the entire video of this Lion King meme that they're talking about. He posted one particular part of the Obamas, so that story doesn't fly. But Donald Trump is facing backlash from Republicans and his supporters. Tim Scott, Mike Lawler have all called out Donald Trump, and they never do that. It is clear every day Donald Trump is pushing people away, and they're all looking for an excuse to finally break away from him.
I looked at it, I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud, and I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of a picture that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud in and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down, and we did it. You know. But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. We took it down as soon as we found out about it.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things, and I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine. They had that one post, and I guess it was a takeoff. By the way, a lot of people covered. If you look at where it came from, I guess it was a takeoff on The Lion King, and certainly it was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it, and probably they would have had the sense to take it down. But that was a takeoff on The Lion King, and a lot of people were covered on in different positions. So.
This is the type of message a president of the United States, under any circumstance, should be sending out to millions of people.
Well, I've not seen that video till you just showed it to me.
See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hard-working, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black. I want to know.
Strength is about taking responsibility for your actions and telling the truth even when it's inconvenient. Everything a president says is serious. Everything that somebody who's aspiring to office is listened to.
Yes, as you can see, like, he is not even apologetic about what he has done, and he doesn't even know the mileage, the outrage of the people outside there in United States of America, seeing their leader or the people that they have highly respected, the people that they gave, the person whom people gave the votes, they respected, they honored, and they trusted him with the future of all Americans, because being black, being white, you are all Americans. And these people are feeling ashamed, whereby now you're taking them back to a regime or to a place or to the years whereby the racist was a problem. Racist was the thing that many people died fighting these monsters. Guys, this has been so humiliating. This is something which you cannot expect. Such a profile person being so confident and drawing and generating such an AI picture of Barack Obama being an ape with his wife. Guys, we have outgrown this monster. And in United States of America, we can see it, and to us, we felt it. We felt it because there are people who have carried these things in the heart. There are people who have been traumatized by being blacks. There are people who have even wounds for being black, for them being black. There are people who have died in the families. There are people who are living in the United States of America. Their fathers, their mothers, they died on the street trying to eradicate or to get rid of this monster called racist. And now you cannot imagine such a highly profiled person dehumanizing a person who was also a president. So dehumanizing, it is something which should be condemned. What their president Donald Trump has already done. Racist has been used widely as a tool in politics. Like, you cannot win if you are not against one race. You cannot even be if you are not against one race. When will the Americans come back and do, like, if it's the politics, they do it because their interests or their policies are supported by the government. And guys, this is something so dangerous. It is something so disrespectful. This is something like they are condemned. This is something which has made them so outrageous, and they condemn what has been done by their own president of United States of America, Donald Trump. And guys, I don't know what is the point that he was just trying to say, because in a picture you can learn a lot. In a picture, the picture says stories. As you can see, like, by that picture alone, people have just traveled to the past. They have remembered how they fought, how they went on the street. There are people in their families in the United States of America. They still have those trauma. These traumas are still in their homes, in their heart, because many lost their wives, they lost their husbands, they lost their fathers, they lost their mothers, they lost their children when they were fighting this monster of racism, and they were fighting for the equality. I don't know what the Donald Trump and his regime, what they are trying to pass. I don't know the message which they are trying to pass. When will they go to this and accept, like, Black Lives Matters also, rather than using it or doing it and making it to be a tool of politics? Because many people die, many people suffer in this. In that rhetoric, in that careless rhetoric of racist, of